think a perfect cake is something which has got this right moisture, texture, appearance, and of course the right sweetness, right? So in this video I'm going to share with you guys how to make a chocolate sponge cake without oven. So continue watching. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing good. Whether you want to impress anyone or just make someone feel very special during their birthdays, it's always a good idea to bake a cake for them. So today's recipe is going to be about how to bake a basic chocolate sponge cake. It's very simple, very easy. I'm not using oven, I'm not using electric mixer. So I'm just going to make it with the basic ingredients which we easily get in market or even in our house. So every time I baked a cake, I have learned something new. There were times wherein my cakes have come disasters as well. But with all that experience and with all the techniques that I have learned baking, I'm sharing this recipe. I hope you like it, and let's start baking. Let's start off by adding all-purpose flour, about 1 cup, 1 teaspoon of baking powder and half a cup of cocoa powder. I think it is more comfortable for me to do on a newspaper or any kind of paper to sieve it. This way actually it makes less messy. Now I'm adding some cooking soda and little bit of salt. Sieve it. Now I'm going to take the same cup of sugar, and make it into a powder and sieve it again. We just need the fine soft consistency. I'm going to take 3 eggs. First I'm going to beat 2 eggs, then later I'm going to add another one. I have added vanilla flavor, which is white flavor. You can add vanilla essence as well. Whisk it until it is nice and fluffy. Then I'm going to add another egg into this so that everything gets whisked easily. Whisk it until it is fluffy. The more you whisk it, the more fluffy your cake becomes. So make sure you whisk it until you get these kind of bubbles. Now I'm going to start off by adding little bit of, small quantities of dry ingredients and lightly mix it with your whisker. By the way, you can use a spoon as well. I had this whisker, so I used it. And add little by little. This makes sure that there is no lumps. When you keep adding things little by little, it is more easier for you to mix it. So mix until everything is combined. It's also important that we have to keep in mind that we do not over mix this wet ingredients. If we over mix it or under mix it, our cake may break and it may not come in the desired texture. So I have some butter here. This is unsalted butter. I'm going to melt it in the oven for 30 seconds. Then I have taken about 6 to 7 chocolate. You can use any chocolate, dairy milk or any dark chocolate. This enhances the flavor of the cake even more. Who doesn't like chocolate? You very rarely find people who doesn't like chocolate, isn't it? So I'm going to melt it. I melted it in oven for another 30 seconds and this is the consistency that we require. So I'm going to add this into our batter and then mix it again. Just look at the color, it just changes and it already looks delicious. One way you can engage your children is by baking. I think you seriously need to try this when you have kids at home, engage them in baking. They'll really love it, and it will truly add a great value in their life as they grow up. So this is a consistency that we need while then it is done. Do not over mix it. This is one of the baking tip that we need to keep in mind. Now I'm going to take my cake mold and add the butter paper and then grease it with some butter to make sure that the batter does not stick to the end. Then I'm going to add this batter into it and level it up. Guys, today I had difficulty recording this video. I really couldn't do up to the mark, but I'm still working on it. I'm learning new things each day. So now we have to tap it on the table for 2 to 3 times to make sure that there are no air bubbles. Now we can take any vessel. We can use any vessel. It might be cooker, kadai or anything. Just make sure that you're adding something to create the height. In that way the cake does not get burns and it cooks nicely. I'm going to close it with the lid. You can use any normal lid. Just make sure that the steam is not coming out. And I'm going to place it in the medium flame, which is between low to high, and cook it for about 30 minutes. I have cooked it for 20 minutes on medium flame and 15 minutes on low flame. After 30 minutes, I'm going to open and check it with a toothpick. So take a toothpick and just insert into the cake and check if it is coming clean. That means our cake is baked. Here it has come clean. So I just left it on the stove for another 3 to 4 minutes, and here is the final product. So one of the ways you can identify if a cake is done or not is looking at the sides. The sides will be left, and the second one is it will become spongy, and when you touch it, it bounces back. That is another way. And third way is to check by inserting a toothpick, and if it is coming clean, that means the cake is nicely baked from inside. So if in case the cake is not coming clean, then you have to leave in there for about another 5 to 10 minutes and make sure that the toothpick comes out clean. Our beautiful chocolate sponge cake is ready. We have to let it cool down and be in the cake mold for 10 minutes. After that, I'm going to run a knife in the corners and make it little loose so that our cake comes out easily. I'm going to use a plate and then just remove it. Remove the butter paper or parchment paper. And our chocolate sponge cake is ready. Let it cool down for a bit completely and you can use it. So that was a basic sponge cake, guys. You can just exclude the chocolate and make it a vanilla cake. So I wanted to make a chocolate cake, so I added that cocoa powder and chocolate to make it more flavorful. So I'm not a big baker stuff. I did not go for any baking schools or anything, but yeah, I remember that I baked my first cake when I was in 7th standard with my mom's instructions. I baked my first cake. That was for my father's birthday. I really remember that day because I was so excited, so super excited with the outcome. It was not that perfect, but the amount of happiness you get it when you bake something for the first time, and that too I was a kid during that time, it was really amazing. So I would encourage you, especially if you have kids, you should involve them in baking, cooking and all that stuff. It will really add a great value in their life as they grow up, because cooking is very essential. No matter how old we grow, we need it. Everybody needs it, and I think we surely need to encourage our children during this time. Most of us are with our family members at this time, so yeah, encourage your children. And one more thing I wanted to share while I was recording this video, it was a little bit challenging for me because during that time the things at home were not good. So I'm sorry for the visuals. Somewhere in the videos you get to see only half of the bowl. I'm really very sorry for that. I'm still not perfect. I'm learning it and I'm improving each day. I'm learning a lot, especially time management, because I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I hold a full-time job and I'm doing this just for as my hobby, and I really love it. I really love baking. I thought I'll record it and I'll show it to you guys. Maybe it will be helpful to someone. Maybe I can inspire someone a little bit to make their cooking and baking. So please excuse me for that. I'll make sure that the next coming videos will be of good quality and yes, proper visuals. Thank you so much for watching. I'll really hope you like this video. I really hope that this video might be helpful when you want to bake a cake to your family members, to your loved ones. I know more importantly than the outcome, it's the heart that you have for them, or we have to appreciate. So someone bakes something for you, yeah, just appreciate them for that. Thank them, show them your love. They'll really feel happy about it. By the way guys, the next video is going to be how to decorate this particular cake with buttercream frosting easily. Okay, I think if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe, hit the bell icon, and also hit on the thumbs up if you like this video, and comment down below if you have any questions for me. That's all for today. Bye.